Hello and welcome to our Sims 4 Cottage Living Let's Play. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am so excited for this one. If you're new here, my name is Panda. I have a few channels where I play a variety of games with a general kind of theme of relatively calm gameplay and commentary and being sort of creativity focused. So if that interests you, you can go to my channel or the description box below, and all of the information is there on how you can follow me on those. But for this Let's Play, we are going to be playing the life of Delaney Ambrose. Delaney grew up in a pretty standard family with 2 parents, 2 siblings, and her grandfather also helped raise her up to her childhood years. As a child, Delaney was super creative and loved spending time outdoors with her grandfather, who also loved to garden. Her grandfather was her best friend and would always encourage her creativity and taught her that life was meant to be enjoyed. Unfortunately, Delaney's grandfather did pass away when she was a child. For a while, he watched over her, and she tried to keep his memory alive by taking up painting and keeping his garden alive for a while, but over time, his memory and the values that he left Delaney with did fade, because Delaney's parents were workaholics and obsessed with money and success, and they worked really hard to instill those values into their children. Delaney's siblings were always very studious, so once her grandfather passed and she wasn't really getting that kind of encouragement anymore, she started to feel the pressure to be more like the rest of her family, and went the route of studying hard, getting a good degree, and getting a high-paying desk job, while her passion for art and the outdoors slowly faded into the background. However, on Delaney's 25th birthday, she received an unexpected phone call from her late grandfather's estate, telling her that her grandfather left her his countryside farm. And this is where the real story starts. Alright, so here is Delaney now. So I figured we'd start this Let's Play off by going over her a little bit. So I actually played Delaney all the way through from a toddler for this series, specifically. So this is Delaney. Let's take a look at her career right now. So she is a conservation regulator. Essentially, she managed to get her, love for the outdoors in there a little bit, but it is still a pretty desk job, and she makes a lot of money and all of that. It's still very corporate, but she did manage to kind of use her love for the outdoors and become at least an environmental engineer, I suppose, might be the best description for that. But that's what she does for work. And personality-wise, she's got a couple of lifestyles already. She's a people person. She's also single and loving it. Delaney she's had relationships and stuff here and there, but she's even got a few flirts going on right now with a few different people. But she's never really been satisfied with her own life well enough to really settle down with someone and yada yada. So she's a people person, but she is single, and she's planning on maintaining that. She has an economics degree from Brightchester, I believe. Yeah, Brightchester is where we went. And that is pretty much that. So her traits, Delaney is creative by default, even though she doesn't really use her creativity all that much. She has a paint easel, but she doesn't really get around to painting too often anymore. She loves the outdoors, and she's an animal enthusiast, which obviously I cheated to put on her specifically for this Let's Play. She didn't have that growing up, but she has that now, and I'm excited to play with this new trait that we got with the new pack. She is responsible. She's creatively gifted because she did manage to hone her creativity in childhood when her grandfather was around, and she's a muser because her original aspiration was painting. So that is kind of all of that. Delaney, she has a lot of money, she has a good career, and she would have made quite a bit off of her parents when her parents passed away as well. So she managed to get this really nice apartment, 2-story, huge place for her, very fancy, right in the heart of the city. She's got a cat. Her cat's name is Pickles. Pickles is an adult cat now, but not too old. And he gets away with absolutely anything. Or she? I can't remember if Pickles was a he or she, actually. I can't tell. But I think it's a she. She gets away with absolutely anything. There's no rules in this house when it comes to Pickles. And yeah, so Delaney, I mean, she rocks a very professional style as well. She's a young adult, around, mid of her young adult life at this point. So she will be a full adult in a couple of weeks, but she's still got a little bit of young adult left in her. And yeah, that is pretty much it. We'll meet her family and stuff a little bit later. As kind of an overview, she still has her older brother Brody, and her and Brody are very close. And I think she's quite close to their sister as well, Natalia. So both her older brother and her older sister are both married. They both have kids. Or Brody has one kid, and her sister has 2 kids. And she is married to a woman named Samantha. They live in Brindleton Bay, I believe. And then Brody and his wife moved to Sulani, I'm pretty sure was what it was. So, this is her niece and nephew here, Billy and Juliana, and I don't think she's met Brody's kid yet, actually. We should probably do that. Should probably want to meet her niece as well. But what we really need to start doing is go and see the new place that her grandfather just left her. So essentially the idea is her grandfather did leave her his estate, but put it in that she would not get it until she was 25. So she just got the call on her 25th birthday that, he had given her the estate. So we're going to go check it out, but I am going to get her to go, well, actually she's awake. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, we're going to at least wait until it's light out before we go and check that out. Alright, so Delaney is now going to go and check out her grandfather's farm for basically the first time. Her grandfather had actually moved in with her family when she was a toddler, so she's never really visited his farm or anything like that. He retired from farming a really long time ago. But, Pickles can stay home. I don't think there's anything for for Pickles at the house currently. Okay, here we are, and immediately there is a fox outside. How lovely. So this is, there's nobody here, so we can't actually go inside at this point, unfortunately. We will do that when we move her in, but this is the Ambrose cottage. So it's obviously very worn down on the outside. She's kind of looking around, okay, like you can kind of look in the windows, and it's very unfurnished inside. There are some basic amenities and like wallpapers and stuff in there. You can kind of see through the window, and all of the like appliances are there, but it is unfurnished. And the outside is very run down, to say the least. The inside is okay, like it's in pretty good condition, but there was nobody really around to maintain the property. So we've got, kind of an old overgrown garden over here. We've got some old animal sheds, but their, land is totally messed up over here. Sunroom's empty, this patio is empty, and the house is just covered in vines and brambles and, everything. And the fence is a little bit broken down in the front here. And look at this pond. How gross. Look at those, full of bugs and, just scum and logs and everything. And over here we've got, a dried up old well that, probably doesn't even work anymore. Actually, it's not really dried up. Yeah, maybe. And, an old rusty tractor just kind of sitting on the lawn. So we're definitely going to have a lot of work to do if we want to move in here, but ultimately Delaney has been feeling pretty down about her life and where she's going, and, the idea of being close to her grandfather again and starting a more simple life out in the countryside is really appealing. So there is no way that Delaney is going to give up on this offer. So I think we're going to need to... Is she going to work? Yeah, she's going to work now. After today's workday, I think we're going to need to go home, pack up some stuff, and officially move out here. Maybe we'll keep the job for a little while, but I think Delaney's also going to have to quit her job to move out here. It's a little bit too far away from the city to be commuting in there all the time. And actually, here is our sister Natalia right there. So she has come to help us out with our moving and packing up, even though, ultimately, Delaney's not very attached to really anything in this house. I think we're just going to take the cat toys and the cat tree and the cat bed and all of that sort of stuff. Other than that, I don't think that we really need to do too much. So, Delaney's just kind of breaking the news right now to her sister of how she, got Grandpa's old cottage, and, she's kind of like, I don't know, is that really a good idea? Like, you have such a successful career here in the city. Are you sure that you really want to, go down that route? And, Delaney's just so inspired by just the thought of being so close to her grandfather again and, taking a more simple approach to life. So she's obviously not going to take any of her sister's advice here, but at least, her sister is here to kind of help out regardless. All right, and now it is Saturday morning and it is moving time. So Delaney's off work today, so I figured today is a perfect day to move. She's in her athletic clothes, ready to, be a little bit more active today. We've got, let's see, what do we have? I think I put everything in the inventory that we need. We've got our litter box, cat toys, cat tree, her old painting easel and lump of clay that she's had since she was a child, food bowl for Pickles bed, and then just kind of, obviously her family tombstones or urns is more likely in her inventory. Her family urns and, some old gnomes and stuff that may come in handy in her new place. So how about we just do it? I think we are going to move to the new house. We're done. Delaney is not attached to anything else in this house, so might as well just sell it all as we go, or, sell it to the next person. Alright, so selling everything that we already have, we actually make quite a bit more money than we even had in savings moving into this new place. So that's awesome, and that'll give us a lot of money in order to furnish this house, because there is no furniture here at all. And it looks like it's going to be a bit cloudy here today, or it's still kind of nighttime here. I guess it's only 5:30 in the morning. We got a very early start to this move. But let's take a look inside the house for the first time. So we have, it's a pretty good layout house. So it is a rancher. There's only one floor. But we have 2 spare bedrooms. This over here is the master suite. It's got a fireplace, it's got a little walk-through closet, and it's got a little double-sinked bathroom over there. This is sort of a sitting room, a little lowered sitting room. We've got some nice old wallpaper in here, and the kitchen and dining is in this room here. So kitchen has all of the cabinets and stuff, and everything has maintained pretty well over the years while it's been sitting. But, the stove is maybe a little bit older, but still usable. Same with the fridge. And yeah, all the cabinetry's there, and she's already moved in some of her, kitchen supplies, it looks like. But we obviously need a dining table for this area here. Over here we've got a spare half bathroom, so guest bathroom for anybody who's kind of just hanging around. They can just quickly use the bathroom in there. Pretty straightforward, a little bit dated, as the rest of the house is, but that's okay. That's exactly what we want for our cottage. A little laundry room. We'll have to put up some shelves and stuff in here to kind of make it a little bit more. Each of these bedrooms also has their own ensuite bathroom. A little bit smaller than the master bathroom, but still, full bathtub, shower, all of that. And the wallpaper on here looks like maybe kids, maybe this was decorated for children. It's kind of hard to tell with that old wallpaper, but I mean, Delaney's nowhere near ready to have kids, so we might turn one of these rooms into like an art room or something like that too. We'll see what hobbies that she gets into. But yeah, lots of space in this house. Plenty of space, I would say, even if we do want to start a family at some point. But also a lot of decorating and furnishing is yet to be done. Oh, and right through the kitchen here, you can get to the sunroom, which is going to be great for growing some indoor plants. If Delaney wants to get into gardening, which I'm assuming is why she's here. Because yeah, the roof on that one is glass as well. So it's like a little greenhouse attached to the house, and then you can just walk right through there out to the back garden. It is the only entrance to the back garden. I think that's okay. Yeah, you can just kind of walk right through the kitchen, right through here, and go to the back garden. Not a big deal. But yeah, obviously the yard has a lot of cleaning up to do, and we might get to that a little bit later on. But I think the first thing that we are going to have to do is make sure that Delaney can get this place furnished. So I want to play around a little bit with some of the new cottage living stuff in terms of the style and that sort of thing. So we can kind of assume that, maybe Delaney went to a local shop to get some of this stuff. I don't think you can really buy furniture anywhere in The Sims other than like maybe the flea market or something. So we'll play around with a bit of that sort of furniture. and see how that goes. Just kind of do some basics for now. We're going to need a dining table. We'll do her bedroom up. Obviously move all of her clothes in. And maybe start to do the living room. We could maybe get a couch for the living room, but we'll leave these bedrooms for now. Maybe put up her art easel in one of them. But yeah, we'll keep it fairly simple for right now. Okay, so here we go. I know I immediately off the bat, I just said that I was going to try to keep it fairly simple. We ended up doing quite a bit of the decorating in this little speed build here. So yeah, I think ultimately what I tried to go for was a little bit of a mixture between like kind of the, old cottage style and a bit more like modern cottage core and that sort of thing. I didn't think it made sense for Delaney to just kind of go hardcore with like the old, the really old like traditional cottage style. I don't think that would be her thing. She's so used to living in such a modern space. So we kind of, I tried to do a bit of a mixture between the two, and you'll have to let me know what you think in the end. I was kind of looking at some photos for inspiration of like, the whole cottage core decor thing with some more modern stuff and a lot of like whites and woods and that sort of thing. But ultimately, I don't know. I think it turned out. I tried to make it kind of crowded too, because I do think these spaces look a little bit better when they're a little bit more crowded. But yeah, rugs. I struggled with rugs in this game. I don't know. Is it just me? For some reason, I have a hard time finding nice rugs out of the Sims rugs. But you'll also see. Yeah. Okay. So we're just putting in all of the clothes in her closet, and I really love these new closet things. I got the Dream Home Decorator pack just recently as well. I installed it with this Cottage Living pack, so I hadn't really played much with it at all before, and I haven't actually done a lot of like building and decorating in The Sims recently, so it was kind of cool to see some of their new modular closet stuff. But I noticed that something that was really popular with a lot of the kind of cottage themed interiors that I was seeing was plants. And I don't know, is it just me, or like does The Sims not really have very good variety for hanging plants? I kind of use these, which I know are supposed to be like windowsill plants, but I tried to use them sort of like you would have like those pothos kind of strung from your ceiling and, like draping over, your room. But I couldn't really find anything like that in the game. So I know I don't have all the stuff packs, so if there is a stuff pack that you really like that has good plants, let me know, because I would love some more house plants and some more like dangly house plants to take up more space. I might just need to do something like put more shelves on the walls and just put more of those small plants on the shelves to kind of fill things out a bit more. But yeah, I know there's probably a lot of good custom content out there too. I try not to use too much custom content just because I don't want to bulk up the game too much, but yeah, I might end up looking into that just to get some of those cool hanging those really pretty hanging like indoor plants going on in here, because I think that'll just make this space so much better, especially like once we start to really get into gardening. And I think it makes so much sense for Delaney to have a very plant focused decor, which is actually my style as well. My house is covered in plants, so it kind of works out. But yeah, similar style I'm kind of going here for the living room. Overall, in this house I'm mixing a lot of the yellows and the greens. I think it goes really well with the new wallpapers, and I think it's a cute little like subtle a nod to a little bit more of a dated style, I suppose, with the colors, rather than just going with like, the white leather or whatever, like neutral colors. I like the bit of a pop of color added to this place. I did not change any of the wallpapers. I think it would make sense for Delaney to kind of keep them. You can let me know what you think if it really doesn't look very good. This house, actually, I don't think I mentioned it before. I did build it. So the wallpapers and stuff I put in. Originally, I figured, I wanted it to look a little bit older, but also like well-maintained inside and that sort of thing. So you can let me know what you think, or if you think that we should change them and kind of, modernize this house up a little bit for her. That could make a lot of sense too. We can do a very modern farmhouse style as well, which I think we're kind of leaning towards anyway. So we will see. You can let me know. But here I'm just kind of trying to fill in. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do in the living room to fill it in. I was playing a bunch with the bars here because I was like, oh, maybe we could have like a bar in the corner. That'd be a great place to get drinks, but they just take up too much space. This living room is not big enough, so I didn't end up putting one in at all. I think what we could do is have a bar outside for parties. I think that might make more sense, and that little patio area which I didn't do at this point, but we might eventually. So now in the living room, we just have the fish tank so that we can do some fishing and catch a few fish and have a cute little aquarium, and then just a couple of bookcases, and of course the cat tree for pickles and all of that. The dining room here, fairly simple. I found this really cute table. I think it's part of the Eco Pack. I think it's like an Eco wood table. And then those chairs are the Country Living chairs, the yellow again. Goes really well, I think, with the blue kind of in these walls. And yeah, ultimately just a bunch of kitchen clutter. I actually really like some of these new kitchen items that came with this pack. I think it's super cute. The like tea set and even that pot that I just like threw on the counter. I think they look really good. But a lot of these items are also from other packs as well, obviously. So if you're looking to kind of repeat anything, or if there's anything here that you're missing, I do use I have all of the expansion packs, and I have a lot of the game packs. I do not have very many of the stuff packs. So if you are kind of looking for some of these items, you might notice that depending on which packs you have, you may or may not have the items that I do. But I think the mixing of items kind of from all the different packs in the base game and stuff worked really well in this house. There's so much. I think even a lot of the base game stuff is very like vintage looking, which I think works really well. I did end up making this one a paint room, very simple, just paint easel. I put down that carpet because I thought it was kind of cute and made it look like she was protecting the floor a little bit. And obviously just going through and doing a whole bunch more clutter stuff all over this house. I have her old lump of clay too. I don't know why I kept that and didn't just buy a new one, but she's been carrying that lump of clay around with her since she was a child. So I'm just kind of like looking for a shelf or something to put it on at this point. A little bit of a little waste of time, but I was also, I don't know, I haven't really played around too much with like shelving and stuff in this game, but I think it can really add to it if you add some wall shelves and the side shelves and that kind of thing and just fill them out. You can see I'm kind of, as I'm finding shelves that go in different rooms, I'm like, oh, that would look good here, this would look good there. But yeah, you can see. But ultimately this section I am doing the little sunroom here, so I kind of just wanted this to look like a bit of a cluttered sort of garden shed / place to grow plants. So I've got a couple of just planters on the floor here. Made sure, you see I do a lot of like turning on and off that move objects cheat. It's because I want the usable items to be usable, and I'm always afraid that if I put them in the wrong spot, they won't be usable. But the decor items, I want to be able to put wherever I want to be able to put them. So I turn that cheat on and off all the time while I'm building, or while I'm decorating, I suppose, is the correct way to do it. But this last section here is just our entryway. So I did end up doing a little bit more than I previously expected. I didn't really expect to do the sunroom or this entryway. But once I started looking at stuff and going through all the items and that sort of thing, I just kind of got carried away. But I think this laundry room is pretty much the last thing that I'm going to do here to wrap up. Just got to kind of finish off the entryway with a rug. Again, trying to find a good rug for the entryway. I'm also playing around with the laundry stuff in this game as well, so we'll have lots of fun chores to do and that sort of thing. But yeah, I will just leave it there. I think there's just a few more kind of clutter items and that sort of thing being placed around the house at the end here, and then we will jump right into the game again. So Delaney is here and already starting to enjoy her new home by immediately watching the Olympics, it looks like, which is very timely. Is she afraid of the TV? What is she afraid of? Okay, well, I don't know what she's afraid of, but she is afraid of the TV. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, well, that happens, I suppose. But yeah, that is the house. So I think we've got a very good starting point here. You'll have to let me know what you think in the comment section if you enjoy. I know I'm not, like, interior decorating is not my strong suit, but I hope I did a decent job, and there'll always be options to update some stuff. And I really want to look into getting some more like wall hanging plants and that sort of thing in here. So I'm going to look into that a bit, see if any of the other packs have better plants or if I can get some custom content plants. Because I don't know, I think like I like the aesthetic of this, but I don't actually like this piece. I think it's just kind of, I don't know. I don't think it looks right. Like it doesn't look like I want it to look. I want like a hanging pothos or pathos or something going along the walls here, but we will see. I will look into that a little bit for next episode. Oh, there he is. Oh, are you going to scratch the couch? What are you doing? Don't ruin my couch, please. It is new. And by new, I mean probably vintage. There we go. Okay, good pickles. All right, but I think that's where I'm going to end the episode. We're going to have, next episode, we have the whole weekend to explore Henford-on-Bagley, meet our neighbors probably. We'll see if anybody comes by. Today they probably will. I'm assuming we have kind of that welcome wagon thing that we should be expecting. And then, you know, over time we'll clean out the yard. We'll probably start with some gardening and then look into getting some new animals and that sort of thing. So yeah, in the comment section below, as always, let me know what you thought of today's episode. What do you want to see? Oh, look, she's even already starting to get into her painting again. That's lovely. But yeah, let me know what you would like to see in this series. What do you think Delaney should get herself up to? And what are you really curious about in this pack? I'm really excited to explore it and kind of see who all the new townies are and that sort of thing. You know, maybe Delaney will find the love of her life here and, you know, settle down, have a family, that sort of thing. But, you know, we've got a long ways to go and I think we have a lot to explore. So, yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you think and I will talk to you in the next episode.